there's a story of a doctor who administers a poison into his patient. And the patient starts to panic as he's feeling his lungs tighten and his chest seize up. And then the doctor quickly administers the antidote and saves his life. And so the patient says, he says to the patient, you're all better now. And the patient says, well, why did you poison me in the first place? Well, he said, if I didn't poison you, then I couldn't have given you the antidote, and I wanted to save your life. And so the patient scratched his head. But when you think about it, that is really the nature of government policy today in Canada. Let's give a few examples here. So we have housing. I was just talking with Peter Van Loan, who works at getting housing approved. We have the second slowest building permits in the OECD. The development charges to build a new home have gone up by over 1,000%. 60% of the cost of a new home built in the greater Vancouver area is government, taxes, fees, charges, etc. So they block home building. And then they say, we don't have enough homes. We need a government program in order to subsidize home building. And they create these monstrous government programs at CMHC and elsewhere in order to subsidize back to life that which they had suffocated in the first place. And then you have the energy sector. They pass legislation that makes it so it takes 10 to 15 years to get a permit for a mine. Actually, it takes closer to 20 years if you start from scratch to get a mining permit in Canada, which is one of the slowest places in the developed world. And then they create massive corporate welfare funds to subsidize the natural resource sector, including, as I said, buying a pipeline. And then you've got taxation. With high personal rates of taxation, we drive more and more investment out of our country, high levels of capital gains tax, punish those that invest in our enterprises. And then they turn around and say, well, we need a $15 billion Canada Growth Fund to subsidize the very businesses and the investment that we've been driving away.